Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It is Jen with Jennifer's Journal and I am back with another plan with me in my Archer and Olive dot grid traveler's notebook. The kit I will be using for this week is it's very much so no longer available. If you saw any of my videos for 2026 thus far, I have made it very clear, but you know what, for those who maybe found my channel recently, hi, I am on a no spend for 2026, and that means for like anything. I went through all of my kits and got everything set up to where I have everything that I need for my bullet journal, my weekly planner, and even for my new decorative creative journal for the entire year of 2026. So I say that and I preface that because every kit that I will be showing most likely is an older kit, older formatted, and probably no longer available in the shop. So that is the disclaimer. I will tell you guys where the stickers are from, where I got them. I highly recommend everybody check out the shops that I do mention because the stickers that are still available in the shop are absolutely gorgeous, and I stand beside and behind these shops. They're some of my tried and trues. I am just making a point to use what I have this year. So all of that to be said, the kit that I'm using for this week is from Letters to Apollo, and it is an older journaling kit called Reminder. It was one that she released, y'all, I want to say it was like 3 years ago. I feel like that's when I got this kit, was in like 2023. For like, and we're talking like, I think I got it in like Black Friday of 2022 for February of 2023. That's, I think, how old the kit is. So it's a beautiful kit. I love the florals in it. And I did also pair it with a deco sheet from the Sweet Planner. That deco sheet, honestly, I think I got that deco sheet in 2024, maybe 2020. No, definitely 2024. And I felt like it paired beautifully because we are still in February, the season of love and flowers and things of that nature. And I love the silhouette of the girl, her tattoo down her back. So cute. But anyways, yeah, that is the kit and the stickers that I am using. As always, I should tell you, this is for the week of February 16th through the 22nd. I kind of went into it a little bit in my last plan with me about the layout, but I'll do it again. Obviously this is a dot grid notebook from Archer and Olive, so it is not like a pre-designed planner. I do make and create all of my layouts, and this is the layout that I have found works the best for me. I believe it's kind of similar to the dashboard style layout. If you've been with my channel for a while, I used to have a Happy Planner Mini, and that's what I would do my weekly planning, my functional weekly planning in, and I used the dashboard layout. And essentially what it is on one side of the page you have your weekly boxes, and then on the other side of the page you have your section for your to-do lists or whatever you would like, notes, habit tracker, anything of that nature. And the way that I set it up is I put my weekly habit tracker, a to-do list, and then a box for like important reminders or like a bill due. It honestly changes what I decide goes on the open page. Sometimes it's a to-do list. Other times it's like a menu. Sometimes it's a tracker to like note what bills are due. For the holidays, like for December, a lot of the times it'll be like a Christmas shopping list. That's one thing that I love about this layout is you can kind of customize that open page to be whatever it is that you need for it to be. Obviously, if you know my style, you know I love deco and I love creating like sticker collages and layering and florals out the wazoo. So I also utilize this page for a lot of deco as well. But that's just how I do it. You could totally use this layout to be 100% functional. I've toyed around with the idea of keeping it just 100% functional, but I'm like, no, that's just not me. That's not my game. This is just what works for me. I have been tempted to kind of change up the layout here and there because I do, my sister-in-law, actually, for example, she does bullet journaling as well. She does her bullet journaling in a disc-bound planner, and she switches up her layouts quite a bit. And like whenever we get on video call, because fun fact, every Sunday, me, my mom, and my sister-in-law, we get on a video call and we do what we call Sticker Sunday, and that's where we will set up our weeks and like talk through it and just visit with each other while we do it. And there will be times whenever my sister-in-law is like, yeah, I'm going to try a new layout. And she showed me, and I'm like, occasionally I'll look, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Like some of like her layouts, I'm like, that's really cool. And then I get the wild hair. I'm like, maybe I should try that. And then whenever I sit down to actually do it, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stick with what works for me. I'm going to stick with what I know. So this is a layout that works for me. It's become just old hat. I love, because that is one thing about larger planners. I've done the 7x9. Whenever I first got into the planning community, I started off with a 7x9 EC, and it was strictly functional. But then the pandemic happened because I got really heavy into the planner community at the end of 2019. I got my first EC planner in December of 2019 for Christmas. My mom got it for me. I was so happy. And I got it specifically because I had an office job at that time, and I was like, oh great, this is going to be amazing. And I really was just using it functionally. And then fast forward to March of 2020, raise your hand in the comments if you were there, if you were one of the victims, if you felt personally victimized by COVID-19, because that was me. My office, I worked for an entertainment company. I think I've talked about this in many, many videos back. I worked for an entertainment company. I was their office manager. I handled all the bookings for the events, but when all the shutdowns happened, no one was planning events. Obviously, no one was going outside. So I got laid off. And then I was like, okay, well, I have no need for my very large 7x9 planner. That's whenever I found the decorative planning community for memory planning. And then the world opened back up again. And then I got behind in memory planning, sized down to a smaller planner again because I needed that functional planning. But at that time I was like, okay, I need to find something that works for me because I was still overwhelmed with the amount of space that I had available to me in the planner. So fast forward, long story short, I finally landed on this size. It works for me. I only feel obligated to mark down a couple little bullet points for things that I know I need to remember, my work schedule, little vacations, things of that nature, and it's just perfect. And then anything else that I need to mark down or remember, I have my notes pages on the other side. I also love habit tracking. That's something that I've discovered that I really love in this size planner, is creating this habit tracker and tracking I love tracking certain habits. It makes it exciting for me to know that I get to go and fill in a box. So I chit-chatted far too much in this video. Didn't really have, I didn't go into the spread at all. I am so sorry. I'm finding that I do that in these voiceovers. If you have any questions, please feel free to please feel free to ask them in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer them. And I swear there will be a plan with me where I actually go into detail about the plans and whatnot. It's pretty straightforward. I have my weekly layout here. I write down my work schedule, little funsy onesie things, my days off, and then Sticker Sunday. That's the thing about this layout, and the reason I stick to this layout. My schedule doesn't really change. I have a new job. Actually, it's not new. I've had it for the past year, but I use my planner to mark down my schedule, little reminders of like when I go and visit my parents or whenever we're going to do something throughout the week. And then on the right-hand side, I write my to-do list. And in the solo box over there that you can see that I'm filling in right now, there's always one particular event that is massively important that I like to remind myself of in that box. And that's essentially how it works. I use my Zig Clean Color dot markers to create my list, and I generally like to make the dot marker match the spread and the layout. Obviously, it's February, so this spread is very pink, but there were also some green notes from the greenery from the leaves and stuff in the kit. So I went ahead and pulled the green Zig Clean Color dot marker. I also pulled in the green. So the marker that I pulled in to highlight what week we're in, those are actually brush markers from King Art. Those are kind of like an off-brand Tombow. I have both Tombow and King Art, and the King Art pens I find are very opaque and very deep colored. Like the lid of the marker that I pulled to do the highlight, you can see that I'm marking right here. The lid in my hand, it looked like a much lighter green, but then like on the actual paper, it's pretty dark and pretty opaque. So if you get the King Art markers, they're really nice. I really like them. It's just be aware they're very opaque and very, very like, the colors are very rich, which I like and I'm not mad about, but that's one thing that I can say about the Tombow markers is they make for a really good highlight color. Like they actually highlight. I think these were I think the King Art markers were designed to actually use as coloring markers, and the Tombow markers were actually used for like journaling and things of that nature. I'm not mad at it. I still love my King Art markers, but if you want my opinion, if you're looking for a light highlight, I would definitely go with Tombow. And if you're gonna invest in the King Art, I will say the lighter colors like the pinks and the yellows and the pastels, those are really nice for highlighting. Okay, so I'm going back now and actually filling in. I have a section at the beginning of each month and it's for my monthly highlights, and I figured it's far enough in the month that I can write down some highlights that have happened already. If you guys would like an in-depth video of how I create my monthly highlights section, I've been toying around with the idea of whether or not I want to make one. It is time for me to film my March monthly in this planner, and if you guys are interested in seeing my March highlights, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. But yeah, I'm just flipping back and forth, making sure I haven't missed anything, but that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.